One of the things I
Uh,
saw, I don't remember which fighter it was. Maybe it was Joe Lozon. I don't recall, but they suggested that Fabio should fight Jake Paul, and I'm like, yes, do that. I love that because there's no bad outcome of that.
yeah,
Whatever
I
happens
would
there,
love
that's
that fight.
great.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, I absolutely
Absolutely.
would
Yeah.
love that fight. Oh my goodness. I'd take just about
That
anybody
that
else over Jake Paul, but Jake Paul over Fabio all day.
as long as somebody gets knocked out in that fight, we're good to go. I don't care which one of them it would be. You know what I mean? I would have no problem with either of it, whatever. But which is, by the way, can we talk about that too? Jake Paul, like I have no problem with the dude trying to make some money boxing. Ben Askren, come on, dude, you could have done better than that. That was pretty bad, but it is what it is. But DC, like, dude, no, that's I want DC to do it just because I know how it'll go and it's going to be a great paycheck for him. But DC is not Ben Askren
No,
by any stretch
no.
of the imagination.
So did you see? I think it just happened today, but the Paul brothers and like Mayweather
Oh,
got into it.
I saw a YouTube headline for it, but I didn't actually click on it because I'm like, well, yeah. Again, Floyd Mayweather knows how to market a fight, man. Because he's an extremely talented defensive fighter, but it's boring as crap for people who aren't like boxing fans, like really, really enjoy
Oh yeah,
boxing. And so
yeah,
that's how he makes his money is by talking all this crap, getting everything big and everything like that. And so are the Paul brothers. That's what they do. They're just professional
yeah.
douchebags, essentially.
So check this out, right? I don't know the difference between the Paul brothers, and I should by now, but I really don't pay them any mind. I don't know who
Yeah.
is who. But one of them's supposed to be fighting Mayweather, and I guess they were talking, and he grabs Mayweather's hat off his head and is like, "Ooh, I got your hat." And immediately Mayweather gets up and starts popping him. He starts swinging on them, and all the security guards and stuff start coming in and separating them and whatever. But I think they're so used to being, these social media stars and be able to get away with these antics because it's like, who have they fought? I think between the two of them, it's been
Yeah.
like Ben Askren, KSI, who's like a YouTuber, Nate Robinson, who's a
Yeah.
basketball player. Like, who have they fought? So now they're messing with someone who's a real fighter, and he's not taking shit. Not that Ben Askren's not a real fighter; he's not a boxer.
Right. But he lost that fight to KSI too. So it's not even that
Yeah.
he fought a YouTuber; he lost to a YouTuber.
That's what I'm saying. And so now they're trying to keep the same antics up, and this is real world, this is real fighting, and someone like Mayweather is not going to take disrespect like that very lightly.
Well, it's just crazy to me, man, and that just shows you how much entertainment is involved in the fight game. A lot of times and stuff is that you fight KSI, who I didn't watch the fight. I don't know him on YouTube or anything like that, but he has some level of fame. And then you fight arguably the greatest defensive boxer of all time. That's your jump. Like that again, I'd probably do it because you're gonna make a ton of
I would
money, but
absolutely do it. Yeah.
but like that is not a way to actually have a career in this. What are you gonna do after Mayweather? Like what happens after
Where
this?
does it go?
You're
Yeah.
gonna be 0-2-1 or 0-2-0-2, whatever his record is, because I think he has like a draw or something like that. I don't know. I've seen a few different reports about it, but uh, where are you gonna go after Mayweather? You fought a YouTuber, now you fought Mayweather. Who's next? Connor, and Connor will hurt you again.
Yeah.
He's a power puncher. He's gonna hurt you. Mayweather, you have a chance to like go down easy. He knows how to work the game. He's about his money. Number one, you're not gonna touch him, so he doesn't have to worry about you knocking him out. And then he's just gonna box you up, and then you'll get tired, and then he'll push you down, basically, right? But no, if
Yeah.
you fight somebody like Connor or DC or something like that, they're gonna take your head off. They're gonna make it hurt. They're gonna body shots all day just to make so you can't go out. You have to feel it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is with those guys though, because you asked about where they go next. I will give them some credit in that their marketing is fantastic, right?
Mhm.
And I don't think the fan base that is watching these like Triller fights, the fights with the Paul brothers and stuff, are the same as the boxing fans who will go out and watch like
Right.
Lomachenko fight. They have their
Oh man.
own group of people that are willing to buy their fights. And honestly, we can put Jake Paul against Bobo the Clown next, and it's probably going to sell extremely well. You know what I mean? They could pick up some bum off the streets, and they could definitely sell the fight just because of how big social media stars they have become.
And that's certainly possible, but I think from a pure money making perspective, what I would have recommended is a ramp up. right? Like I think they're doing that with Jake. I do think that Jake has a lot more room to ramp. I don't think that he's dumb enough to fight DC or Kamaru Usman or any of those dudes who he knows would hurt him. He's going to,
Yeah.
but he keeps his name out there. He bickers with them and stuff like that, and then he keeps taking slightly more respectable opponents until he does take somebody big, gets beat, and then he retires because he's not making his main money from this. You know what I mean? Boxing is something just to bring in
No.
more YouTube and content creation money and everything like that. So I think he's doing it, but Logan's like, I don't want to do this more than I have to. He's like, so he's doing the KSI now. He's doing
Yeah.
Mayweather. He's like, and I'm done. I'm not going to out because Logan Paul was just on the Masked Singer too, so he's just spreading it everywhere he can, and I don't think he's trying to make any serious run in boxing or anything like that.
No, but it's genius. Like these guys are making more money in a couple of fights than a lot of boxers make their whole career, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's also why a lot of people are really pissed off about it. But man, more power to them because they can sell these fights and they can sell them well. And they're not very good for where they're at, like technically. But I mean, they're cashing in, man, and ultimately that's the goal, you know. I mean, it's nice to go and be champion and whatever,
Yeah.
but that's more of a pride thing. That's not going to set you up for life. You know, these guys go make a few $1 million just boxing. You know, they don't even have to look good, and you know, it's hard to be mad at that. It really is.
No, like I said, I don't hate the hustle
No,
at all, man.
no,
I'm here for it. I respect what they're doing and everything like that. But I like I said, I just hope that they're at least intelligent enough to make this work the right way. Because like I said, Mayweather is the boxer you want to fight. Not,
yeah,
again, not because he can't hurt you. He won't. He'll choose not to. Mayweather again. He knows how to work this. You saw what he did to Conor McGregor. You
yeah.
saw what he's done in the other fights. The only guy he hurt was a guy who was dangerous to him, and that was that I think he's Japanese. The kickboxer Tenshin, I think his
Mm.
name is Tenshin something or other.
Senshin
That
Nasukawa,
he
I think.
fought over.
Yeah,
Yeah. And because that dude could hurt him, he knows if he didn't put that guy away, that guy could hurt him. But he knows Conor McGregor wasn't going to hurt him. He knows that Logan Paul's not going to hurt him, so he's not going to hurt them. He's only going to hurt people who are threats. Plus, to be fair, Mayweather breaks his hands like all the time, so he's not usually going to punch you that hard. Especially now, he's like, what is he, 44 or whatever he is these days.
yeah.
But so that's the guy you want to
He's
fight.
been
But just make
retired.
sure you
Like,
keep it to those type of
uh,
guys. He's not retired. He's more active than dudes who are active.
he's retired. Uh,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
could you imagine something happens and he gets clipped? And he's like half the size of those guys, you know?
Oh yeah.
He's, man, like, because the two piece that Ben Askren got hit with, I think if anybody got hit with that, they would be rocked. They would be hurt, you know? Doesn't mean the setup or the footwork or anything surrounding it was any good. But
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that jab cross, that too landed hard. And there's a reason why Ben Askren's head bounced off the mat because he was out, you know? He might have gotten up and he recovered, whatever, but that man was out. So, man, could you imagine if they land? I mean, it's Mayweather, so they're not going to land,
Yeah.
but, you
Eh,
know.
and that's the only reason the fight's at all intriguing is because, like you said, he outweighs him by like walking around weight. Walking around weight, I think he outweighs him by
Has
like
to be.
50 to 60 pounds or something like that. He's a
Yeah.
way bigger guy. But I also think he's making him cut weight, and Mayweather's not
No.
cutting weight. He's walking in, so he's got a 50 fight head start on you. He also is one of the greatest defensive boxers of all time, and he's not cutting weight. It's like, man, if he
He's
again,
going to be
anything can
feeling
happen.
great.
This is the fight game. I'm not gonna say it, but it's just so unlikely that he clips him again because like that's his whole thing is defense. Like
Yeah.
boxers who box their entire lives can't. So though, if I'll say it now, I'll say it out loud. If Mayweather gets clipped and he goes down, it's a work. I just can't. You can't sell me that it's not a work
Yeah.
if Mayweather gets
Yeah.
hurt. There's no way.
Yeah, man. It's just, but could you imagine? Like, my mind would be blown. Because I think if he lands, right? But that's the big if, because no one really lands on Mayweather. Um,
Hmm.
no one. Shit, not even Pacquiao. It's crazy.
So that's my thing. If somehow Floyd does something and loses that fight, I'm staying off the internet for like a week. I'm not listening to this. It's gonna be
It's gonna be the
unbearable.
worst. Oh my goodness.
Unbearable. All these people
Uh,
who are actually fans of Logan Paul are going to be unbearable. The disrespect for professional martial artists and boxers and everything like that is going to be at an all-time high. I just hope, like I said, it's hard for me to see Mayweather losing for one because like he's undefeated. So this wouldn't just be a
yeah.
loss that you did stupid. This would be your only defeat, and it's to Logan freaking Paul. Like,
Yeah.
that's bad.
But
That
I
is
mean,
bad. You're out of the GOAT
like, think
conversation
about
for
it. He's
sure.
getting I mean, he's getting old. He could be slowing down. We don't know. And then the size difference. I mean, there's still a lot going on.
Yeah.
Because he has to be able to open up Mayweather and cut him off with his footwork and actually hit him. And I highly doubt he'll be able to do that. But
Yeah.
God forbid he catches him in the corner. But Mayweather doesn't really get caught in the corner, so. But man, it's fun. It's fun to think about. Just
But yeah, I'm with you, man. Like I said, there is some intrigue with those type of fights. There always will be, even though I don't want there to be. I want it to be exactly what it is, and it will be. But I'm not paying for it. I refuse to pay for stuff like that. Now, if
no,
now Jake Paul might have got
Jesus
me. If
Christ.
Jake Paul fights DC or Kamaru Usman, I'll put some money down for that because that'll be hilarious. But I just don't
There's
ever see that
no way
happening.
that happens. There's no way that happens. Yeah, he would get flatlined, and they'll come out to hurt him. They'll probably put him away in the first round. Because they're not gonna try to cash in. They're gonna go in and like hurt this man. You know.
Yeah.
Even did you watch DC when he adjusted on the Ariel Helwani show?
No, no, no. I didn't. I didn't.
So DC, he was like, "Listen, I'm not gonna box this guy." He's like, "If he wants to fight, we'll do an MMA fight. And when we do an MMA fight, I'm gonna elbow you in the face. I'm gonna take you down. I'm gonna knee you in the body. I'm gonna punch you, and I'm gonna hurt you." He was like, "If you
Yeah.
want to fight, I will fight you in MMA." And man, DC is not a guy you would want pissed off with his caliber.
No.
Yeesh. Oh my
That's the thing,
goodness.
man. I think I don't know how much. Again, I don't know how much he knows about DC. If he was doing it just because he thought it was funny and he knew that DC would like that it would bring some more people talking about it or not, or if he doesn't know who DC is. I'm like, did you see DC's fights against John Jones? Like the first one, especially. But like he picked John Jones up and just threw him. Like, and that's again, John Jones is one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time. DC is
Yep.
not that dude. He's got a gut on him, but with that gut, that's what's more embarrassing. With that gut, he will Roy Nelson the crap out of you. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Those are life goals, man. When I'm retired from fighting, I want to be like DC. I'm gonna be a little bowling ball walking around, fat and happy, and just an absolute killer.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing, man. DC is one of those dudes who, for sure, if somebody's not careful, they're gonna like try to world star him or something like that, and then they're like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" The next thing they know, they're like head over heels. He's like throwing them into cars and stuff like that. Like he's a dangerous dude who does not look like a dangerous dude, and that's what you got to respect it. Thanks for checking out Starting Nowhere. Come find us on Facebook so you can comment on this and other clips and episodes of Starting Nowhere.